Now, the art scene in South Africa is indeed buzzing. That's thanks to the ongoing National Arts Festival. This annual spectacle is living up to its promise with a packed program featuring everything from gripping theatre to innovative visual arts, even captivating multidisciplinary performances. For a taste of that excitement, let's go live to Lopang Mokae, then, who's on the ground to give us a glimpse of what audiences are experiencing. Lopang, everybody else is dealing with cold weather, political drama that keeps happening around the country. You've decided to shy away from all of it and just go to the arts fair. Why not?
Good evening, Arabile. Well, let me tell you something. Makhanda is absolutely cold. I actually think that the winter originates from here, but the energy is absolutely palpable as artists across the country, well, across the world, actually converge here to showcase and witness incredible talent. We're surrounded by a tapestry of dance, theatre, music, visual arts, and so on. I'm live on location now at the Centenary Hall in Makhanda. We've just witnessed a beautiful and incredible performance by Modise Sekgothe titled Gabo Legwala. I think it's loosely translated the home of the coward, but I will let Modise tell us exactly what that means. He is my next guest. Modise Sekgothe, what an incredible performance. Am I right? Is it loosely translated home of the coward?
Home of the coward, yes. It comes from a saying which is "Gabo Legwala go liwe," which means that I guess what it's trying to communicate is that when you stay out of trouble, you cause less sort of what is it? Basically, the person who's a coward causes less trauma for the people that they love, because they're basically safer by staying out of trouble, by walking away from a fight. But of course, this play questions, just how sometimes it's necessary to know how to stand your ground, to know when to push back, and just figuring out when is the time to walk away, when is it time to stand up for yourself, and particularly these lessons being important for young boys growing up, many young boys growing up without their fathers, struggling to make sense of how to move through the world.
Now, you're a performance poet and actor as well, combining poetry as well as acting. Take us through your writing process. What comes first, the poetry or the narrative structure?
In this case, it's the narrative structure because it is lived. With this story, I tell my own story, but also the stories of the other young boys I was growing up with in the township, most of which grew up without their fathers, and kind of really all the trouble we got up to, and just the lessons that I've been able to extract from that and from their lives, and seeing how all of our journeys sort of ended up, based on where we were coming from, exactly the ways in which our upbringing and our parent dynamics were kind of influencing what was happening.
Now, lastly, take us through how you prepare emotionally, mentally, and physical for such a quite heavy performance.
Yeah, what was very important for me was to honor some of the people I mentioned in this narrative, to honor their lives, to honor the life of my own mother who passed away recently, who I think is, part of this work for me is kind of a tribute to her and my sisters and the people that raised me, but also just the other people that I grew up with. And so I try to really step into the sincerity of how they contributed to my life and honor that with as much presence as I can in how I bring the work through.
Thank you so much, and what an incredible performance. Like I said, there you have it, Modise Sekgothe, who is a performance poet and also a Standard Bank Young Artist recipient for 2025. Really, really incredible performance, just telling his life story through performance poetry, Arabile.
Yeah. I have to ask, though, when one looks at everything and the words that come out are tapestry or visual arts, the understanding and interpretation, are you understanding anything you're seeing there?
I am actually, because like Modise said, a lot of the work here is really personal. I mean, the Arts Festival really is an opportunity for artists to showcase not just their talent, but they're telling a story. And I think it really resonates with a lot of the audience, but for me as well.
Yeah, very interesting actually, because I often wonder, what is it? You spoke about the narrative there being spoken about as well, like Modise was speaking about, and you had to write it because it was lived. Is it, with a lot of them, that seems to be the case, right? They actually, whether it be painting, whether it be the dramatic arts, whether anything else that they do, all of it is based on lived experiences. And I guess that's what they portray it as, right? It just portrayed in different forms and formats.
Well, you know what they say, Arabile, artists first observe and then they start to express. So it is actually quite critical for artists to create from their own lived experience, to create what resonates with the masses as well. So a lot of what we see from visual art earlier on, we also spoke to Nyagallo, who creates from her own personal experience. And we also spoke to the National Arts Festival CEO, who spoke about some of the work that goes into the Arts Festival is from lived experience. I mentioned as well yesterday that, as a matter of fact, the Arts Festival held space during apartheid for protest against some of the injustices. So much of what we see really has to do and comes from lived experiences from the artist's perspective.
Lopang Mokae, have fun out of Makhanda there, of course, at the National Arts Festival then happening as well there. Thank you so much for bringing us that. An important element still happening, of course, in parts of the country.